Good morning, everybody. I'm T.A. Walker from WPTV News Channel 5.
And I'm Victoria Lewis. I'm a digital producer here at TV, and we're here to bring you the 5 things to know.
Yeah, there's been a lot of rallies going on all over the nation, really. And it's been 5 nights of rallies, and Governor DeSantis is not liking the good morning, that was the news director. There's been lots of rallies going on, but Governor DeSantis is not liking them shutting down roadways, correct?
Correct. Yeah, he commented on that yesterday after he had received some criticism. You'll remember that this year they passed HB1, dubbed the anti-riot law, in response to the protests over the summer. And one of the really big provisions of that was no blocking any roadways. And then we saw that in the protests in Miami and here in West Palm Beach. So he reiterated his comments on Thursday to just say that's not going to be acceptable and there will be consequences for those that do.
What's interesting about this to me is this is like the second thing that has been signed into law that did not meet the expectations of why they wrote the law. You know what I mean? Meaning the monument law, and then it went to go end up protecting an LGBTQIA intersection in Delray. This is the anti-riot law, really targeting BLM protests in 95 last year, which I covered. Shutting down 95, and this is targeting, protests for the people of Cuba. Let's listen to a package about what's going on.
Overnight, protests from coast to coast, calling for an end to Cuba's decades-old communist regime.
They're hungry. There's no medicine. They need a change.
In Miami, demonstrators filling the streets and blocking traffic on a major highway, while in Washington, calls for action.
You need to do something! Don't ignore us!
And down in Texas, chants for a free and fair Cuban government. This as thousands of Cubans across the island took to the streets for the first time in decades, calling for their president to step down as the country faces crippling food shortages, almost 7,000 new daily COVID cases, and 11% reduction in its economy since the pandemic. So far, the Biden administration is not intervening, but the president has expressed support for the Cuban people. Secretary of Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas, who was born in Havana, issuing a stark warning for Cubans hoping to escape.
Allow me to be clear. If you take to the sea, you will not come to the United States.
Hit musician Yotuel Romero fled Cuba 25 years ago. His latest collaboration, Patria y Vida, which means homeland and life, has become the viral anthem for the protest. It's a positive spin on the old communist slogan, Patria o Muerte, meaning homeland or death.
¿Qué espera usted en que logre su canción? What do you hope that your song achieves?
Cambiamos la muerte por la vida.
You change death for life.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we need life.
So these protests are continuing, and really the situation seems to be dire there in Cuba. So I did see on Twitter the U.S. Coast Guard said, "Do not try to leave Florida and head to Cuba. It is not a good idea to issue a warning."
There was a group from here actually that had proposed that, we have boats, we have supplies, let's go. It's just a lot more complicated than that, given the international scope of things. So they told them, that's not safe, do not do that. And if they see them trying to approach that they will be stopped. So, it'll be interesting to see where it goes from here, especially, with President Biden and everything. But this could go on for a while, these protests.
Yeah, Andy says this is what happens under authoritarianism. Thankfully, we escaped the recent one we had. The Cuban dictatorship is killing our people, says Monica. Viva Cuba, says Gloria. And Biden is going to do the same here. He already is. Wake up, people. So yeah, there's a lot of emotion that goes.
That's what we saw, with that the song that they were just talking about in that package. So I guess that really has taken off.
That's taking a life of its own. You're right. Let's move on. This isn't really new. I guess they shouldn't have called it new this morning. Well, I guess it's new because Parkland accuser, even though he's self-admitted shooter.
He's still accused until he's convicted, yeah.
Yeah, he was in court, and they played this video of him attacking a security guard. They gave him the finger and then just went after him.
Yeah.
So this is in Broward, obviously. This video came out a while ago. TMZ thought it was new yesterday, but it was not. But it's new to me. I didn't see it before, and it just kind of shows.
He was back in court yesterday for the first time in over a year. You know, he hasn't been in court because of the pandemic. His court date got moved back for the actual shooting. This will be a separate charge. That'll be a separate trial. But his court date for the shooting finally begins in September.
But it really goes to show you his mindset, or state of mind, I guess I should say. And that was from the Associated Press, so I wanted to make sure I give them credit. Dino praying for Cuba. Justin is watching from Michigan, as always. Justin. She says there's a Hitler in Cuba. The government of Cuba is killing people, says Cindy. Praying for Cuba. Help Cuba, help Haiti. And really, all the nations right around us geographically, it feels like they're all having real struggles right now. So hopefully we can do something that will be helpful. Moving on to space, it seems to be like a billionaire's race to space to me. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, you know, billionaire space race, and you've got that much money, you got to spend it on something, and I guess that includes a vacation to space. You know, we just had, was it Richard Branson, the owner of Virgin and everything, he made it to space. Jeff Bezos is going next, and the person that was supposed to go with him auctioned for that, you know, spent millions of dollars, but now has other plans. So they were putting in the person who won the second place bid, or rather his son, and that is going to be an 18-year-old man, Dutch, and he will be the youngest person ever in space.
That's crazy. Our manager, Adrian, came by, and she's like, what's on the 5 things to know today? And I've said this, and I go back in the day, it was the USA and Russia racing to space, and now we have billionaires racing to space. And she said she saw a TikTok where people were saying, solve world hunger, feed the kids, solve all these issues, or race to space. And that's what these guys are doing. So
yeah, they had Richard Branson on the Today Show, and he was talking about them. They asked him about the criticism, and he's just like, you know, space is for everybody. You know, this will eventually get to everybody, and then just kind of sidestep the comments from there. I'm good. I like Earth.
Freedom for Cuba, says Gloria. A lot of people really, the story is gravitating. They're really.
We've had some amazing coverage this week of these Cuban protests. Please go on WPTV.com. We've had a lot of different reporters talking to a lot of people out there protesting, sharing their family stories, what they want to see. And we also have a timeline that kind of explains how we got to where we are now.
Which is important, because if you're just kind of being self-aware of the story, you kind of need to know where we were. So that's really helpful. It hurts my heart. Go ahead if you want to talk about the red tide.
Okay, yep. So red tide is hitting Tampa Bay again, and this time it's really tough. You know, they just have over 1 million pounds of dead fish that they've removed, and there's still more. They're really worried about it getting, upstream to the beaches. And it's gotten to the point where it can harm people, breathing that in at this point. So, they're doing their best for rescue and clean efforts, trying to find causes and slow it down. But right now, it's just all they can do to try to keep up with the dead fish.
It's just unfortunate because it seems like we're not doing anything about the problems. I know Brian Nass on the Treasure Coast is really, in his district, he's really trying to do some legislative things to help the issue, but it really needs support of everyone to get this cleaned up because of this algae problem from Lake Okeechobee. If you don't know, Lake O, the big lake in the middle of the state of Florida, it will flow east towards the Atlantic Ocean and west towards the Gulf. And so Tampa and the Treasure Coast gets affected when there are algae blooms, which turns into red tide, obviously. And, we saw this close to Palm Beach as in Jupiter a couple of years ago. I was working one Saturday, and all of a sudden, people at the Jupiter Bay Resort had to be taken to the hospital. I think it was 11 people because red tide had made its way down to Jupiter. So it's a serious problem that needs some big thinkers to help us fix. So hopefully we will.
I mean, there's a lot of difference of it. It really is extrapolating out through nature. We've seen more manic this year than we are the year before, and we're why. So obviously that's becoming exponential.
Lots more Cuba comments that I want to make sure I put up. Debbie says billionaires need to pay $300 per child for poor working families. Rolando, he's been in a lot of the stories that you've seen, Victoria. He has the gallery there in West Palm Beach. He's hosted all of our government officials at his gallery, and he had a press conference there at the Box Gallery, and our county officials and representatives and what have you were there talking about how America needs to help the Cubans. So, I want to make sure I'm just getting to all your Cuban comments before we move on. Debbie's watching in the Treasure Coast.
Good morning.
Good morning from West Palm Beach. Shakespeare by the Sea is happening this week, the last weekend of that, I believe.
And I'd love that we have that kind of stuff coming back.
Yeah, it's great. I went to the concert on Saturday, the Brad Paisley concert, and it was packed. It was like there was no pandemic. We were done. And, I was kind of uncomfortable, to be honest with you. But
yeah, I'm going to a Dave Matthews Band concert in a couple weeks. We got lawn tickets. I'm hoping people give us Friday. I'm hoping people give us a little bit of space. I'm cool, I'm vaccinated, but I just like personal space in general.
Well, they were making fun of me because everybody in my story was holding the microphone and I wasn't holding it for them like you normally see it. I'm like, I don't know who's vaccinated. You can hold that. Thanks so much. Yeah, this Cuba story is really resonating, obviously.
Yeah, especially down here where so much of the Cuban American population. Yeah, I mean it really is. When I moved out of Florida, I had to explain people, and I moved to Texas, and I'm like, like Tex-Mex and everything there, like that is Cuban culture in South Florida.
Exactly, it's the same thing. It's 1 week to the Olympics. Check this out. I thought it was a story. It's not. Tell us about 1 week to the Olympics, Victoria.
Sure. We have 1 more week to the Olympics kickoff in Tokyo. And remember that time change. So that's going to be more of like a morning opening ceremonies. You'll be able to see it on the Today Show with us. Things are going to look a little, no spectators at any of the events, not even the opening and closing ceremonies.
That's going to be weird.
I wonder if they're going to pump in like noise like they did for the NFL. Because the ones where they didn't, it was just awkward. And I feel like the players too, you need something.
Yeah, you take that energy to help your performance, the cheering, the roar of the crowds, for sure.
Definitely. Some of the other changes they're making is that the medals won't be presented. You won't get the medal on your neck just like so. They're going to kind of hand it to you on a platter and you're going to put it on yourself. Which kind of changes the moment a little bit.
I think it's stuff we can handle, though. It doesn't seem like it's bad.
Definitely. We had Simone Biles leave yesterday. She's very excited. That's probably the most famous American Olympic athlete right now, I'd say, except for the ones that are also professional athletes with basketball and everything. And basketball, they actually had to cancel their exhibition game, USA Basketball, due to COVID protocols. So it's interesting to see if some, things have to get rescheduled or moved, how many people miss out on their event because they tested positive for COVID. It's going to be a very different games, but it'll still be fun. You're still going to have people like Simone Biles out there representing us, and it'll be 1 week, and then we'll see how they can do.
Well, we're excited here at WPTV News Channel 5 because we've been broadcasting behind poster boards basically of the city of West Palm Beach, or in front of rather, and they have gutted our Studio A. And they have just finished this very expensive set, and we're debuting it for the Olympics. And there's a weather center, there's the weather wall monitors, there's the green screen like you're used to seeing, there's the anchor desk, which is like a stand-up thing, and there's the Contact 5 area, and then there's the digital area, and so we have some really cool spaces coming, and so we're excited about the Olympics because we get to go back into our old home, but it's been very much so renovated. Yes, a lot of emotion with this Cuban story. It's definitely resonating. I think I've said 5 times. This is kind of cool. Disney confirms that they are creating a campus and relocating 2,000 workers from California to Florida. These are mainly workers that are not fully dedicated to the California property, Disneyland. And they think it's going to make it more cohesive as a brand to be all in one place. So that's 2,000 jobs coming to Orlando. So that's exciting news for Florida.
That's interesting. Cost of a living, LA versus Orlando.
Right,
I'm going to go with Orlando there.
Like Orlando is so Orlando
It's
is
still decently affordable, LA, I don't even know what you can buy there, even if you have $1 million, probably like a studio.
let's see. I think this is the tab I need. The Queen of Comedy is going to be coming to town, and she was on our show before the pandemic, and so she's going to be at the Palm Beach Improv this weekend. She has 2 shows tonight, 2 shows tomorrow, and she was so funny. I shared the wrong screen. Let me add the right one real quick. Sorry, guys. This stop screen, share screen, do audio, and 5 this weekend. Here we go. And she is funny, y'all. And this is we played the game Heads Up. Do you know what that is, Victoria?
What is it?
Heads Up. It's where you put a clue on your head.
Oh, that one. Yeah, that one's so fun. That one's great for like theme park lines.
So we did it live on the air, and we did not do well.
Morning, guys. Some more Queen of Comedy. You're gonna be at the Palm Beach Improv now through Sunday.
Yes, and I'm excited about it. I travel all over the country doing theaters and big venues. I love when I get a chance to do comedy clubs.
And you just had to come up from Fort Lauderdale, so it wasn't that far to go.
That was a long ride. No.
Now,
what a long travel.
You're all about lashes and fashion.
You think so?
I looked at your social media, and I noticed that you had all this design, all these lashes.
Listen, lashes have become a big deal.
Really?
Like in the last year or so. And I learned that there's different lashes. You got your church lashes, then you got your club lashes, then you got your holla lashes, and then you got your, the ones you just can peel off and put anywhere. Lashes are a big deal.
So what is the difference between church lashes and going out lashes?
Well, church lashes are little.
Okay, you want to dial it back for Jesus.
Right, you don't. Well, you don't want to disturb the congregation.
Right.
You want to look nice. Still.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I was looking at your social media account. Now, Pedro, if we could pull up the Facebook video, you haven't posted much on social media.
But you see that shoulder out.
But on August 25th and 26th, you just kept posting and posting and posting and posting.
Well, here's what I do. Sometimes I have to take a step back from it.
Right.
Because it's overwhelming.
And then somehow on Instagram, Pedro, the director, can you run this? You have 750,000 followers, but you've only posted 19 times. How is that possible?
Well, what I do is I post and I take it down.
Oh, you take it down.
I take it down. And here's why I take it down, because that saves your wardrobe. Because
you mean you can wear something again?
You can wear it again.
Now, you said you recently stopped eating meat and you have a Thanksgiving crisis.
Yes, I don't know what to make for Thanksgiving. But okay, I always get, I call myself a flexitarian.
Okay.
Around the holidays.
All right.
Instead of a pescatarian, a flexitarian.
Right.
I won't eat meat, but I will eat things with meat in them.
Okay.
Okay, so then I get loose. So then
right. Okay.
Right, there you go. So you can eat greens with meat in them.
So why don't you cook a lot of sides and put the turkey inside it?
Okay. Right, with turkey inside all the sides.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. Okay. Every time we have the comedians on, we play Heads Up, and you're going to give me clues, right?
I'm ready.
Okay. And I'm really bad at this. So we're doing icon, stars, and legends, and here we go.
My God, I'm terrible. Here we go. I have no idea.
60 Minutes. I accidentally saw it.
No.
Okay.
She's a comedian. She has a really weird sense of humor.
Janine Garofalo.
Exactly.
Wow.
No. No. Oh, he's sexy.
Ricky Martin.
You think Ricky Martin? Yeah, he is sexy.
My type.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Married. Gosh. He had the vial of his blood. He had a vial of his blood.
Johnny Depp.
No. A vial of his blood.
Who? Billy Bob Thornton.
Yes.
Okay,
I love Billy
thank you for the peanut gallery.
No.
Nope, don't know that one. Are we out of
I
time?
know what that is, but I don't know
Okay.
if you can describe it. Wow.
So we weren't good at the game, but she is funny.
You're the ones who got clues on. You did pretty well.
I guess so. She was so funny and so nice. I really liked her, and she was like, I like it when the comedians are able to have fun when they come on. Sometimes they just stand there like, "You have a show today."
Yeah, some of them can really turn it on stage, but like interpersonal conversations,
Exactly. Okay, let's go back to the things going on this weekend. I don't know why I didn't turn off my screen. Let me get it back for you guys. Share.
Comments in the meantime. We've got some
Yeah.
good morning from Marsh Harbor. I'm not sure I know where that is. But good
That
morning.
is in Abaco, Bahamas. They were hit by the hurricane,
Ah,
the Cat 4 hurricane that came through and really destroyed the Bahamas. And this lady right here, Linda, yeah,
oh, wow.
this lady Linda, she had a makeshift animal rescue, and so she wouldn't leave. She refused to vacate. She had her house on a high point on Marsh Harbor, and there was like 11 or 12 dogs in her house. And finally, the Coast Guard said she had to leave, and she made them wait. Had to put out food and water and all this stuff for the dogs because they were forcing her to go. And so her and her husband, who was disabled, evacuated. I think her husband was before her, and they stayed on a hotel here on Palm Beach Lakes for a while. And she would take a rideshare out to Big Dog Ranch Rescue, who evacuated her dogs, and they put all the dogs in one house, and that they have there on property. And so she had a rough go at it. So it's good to see that she's back in Marsh Harbor. And when the hurricane hit, her car caught fire, and it was just, there's a documentary on it on WPTV.com. Just search Marsh Harbor and you'll find it. It was really a moving story, and I wish her and her husband the best. So
Top Prince. But good morning, Linda.
good morning to you, Linda. I've lost the 5 fun things. There it is. I did it early this week, so I didn't know where it went. Also in Boca is comedian Eddie Griffin. He's at playing the Boca Black Box. There's an Aerosmith tribute free show in Wellington on Saturday at 8 o'clock, which is supposed to be a lot of fun. Yeah, the organizers says just bring your own lawn chair, blanket for seating. And then a Beach Boy tribute band called the Beach Boys. Free show at Apple tomorrow night, 7:30.
It's a very tribute band.
Yeah, ELO tribute band is in the park, and so that's going to be a lot of fun as well. Let me share another screen. Chrome tab. So, do you know Ashley Walters here at WPTV News Channel 5, the morning anchor?
Of course, the most adorable person in the world.
And she is an artist. She loves everything art, particularly if it's of unusual size. So we've been asking you guys to submit your hidden gems. You can do it by going to WPTV.com/hidden gems. And she submitted this one. And so here's our story for this week's hidden gem.
North Avenue in Palm Beach, you may have passed up courtyards filled with shops, restaurants, and galleries. There is one courtyard behind the Lilly Pulitzer store that has plenty of sculptures that will help you up your social media game. In this peaceful garden, 2 pieces of art are objects of unusual size, created by the artist Robert St. Croix. The apple and banana are illuminated at night. Other artists have work displayed too, like kids playing on a swing, kids riding a bike, pulling a girl on roller skates, climbing up a ladder, or simply just trying to stay out of the rain. Behind a locked gate, you can see these kids running and playing baseball. You could take a picture of a pig to make your friends squeal with laughter, or check out this dolphin swimming along with a human.
So that's this week's Hidden Gem. So I gotta be honest, the sculptures of kids I find creepy. I don't know why, I just do.
No, sometimes it's something about the eyes. Like, I don't know. It's very The Shining.
I don't know. Where I go to spin class in Palm Beach Gardens at Psycho Bar, that plaza has all these little statues of kids, and I'm always like driving by, like, ooh, that's creepy. Let's check the comments before we go. More stuff on Cuba. Our hearts go out to you guys, for sure.
I see these demonstrations going on for a while until, they see something happen.
Absolutely. All right. Have a good weekend, you guys. Be kind.